I think I should take your course.
You should.
I should take your course.
You will have it. You will have access to it the moment it is online. Don't worry.
No, I'm thinking of taking the face-to-face course. A
Okay.
couple of unique things that have been brought to my attention since I started my YouTube career. One of them is the number of fillers I use are more on YouTube than I use in real life. So something about switching on the camera triggers filler words. One. Second, while editing the video, it has been pointed out to me that I think the way a cartoon does, which is while scratching my head. I have a very cartoon way of thinking about things. So when I'm thinking of a question, I tend to scratch my head.
You might want to even move your eyes like this.
Yeah, I do a lot of that, which are very natural ways of thinking. Let me say, like, this is not the only way to think, this is also a way to think. So I could possibly work through that when, if I make it to your face to face course. If not, then I'll try your online course. And
I think for the first one, you know the answer, right? It's your you want to be perfect in a classroom. Even if there are fillers, even if you make a mistake, there's an opportunity to correct. And it's only those 30 people or 300 people, right?
yeah, yeah, sure.
With YouTube, you don't know how many people, and I wish you don't know how many people are going to watch it. There could be many, many, many. Uh, you are more worried about making that impression or being perfect.
Yeah,
Possibly that's what it is.
yeah. I just need to learn to think differently. I also know you're a man of very witty words. And I have seen you in session and we have co-facilitated one or two. I have also just visited and seen you conduct sessions, parallel sessions. We've been in rooms next to each other. So I know you're a man of witty words and very smart comebacks, and your debriefs are famous wherever we go. So I want to know, what are your rules? Do you have any interesting rules, some foundational concepts that you think people should consider when they're preparing themselves for public speaking or are dealing with challenges with public speaking?
Quite a few, but I think the most important one that I see is to remember as a speaker, it's not about you. It's about the value that you create for the audience. So if I go to a session thinking, how do I look? What should people think about me? Uh, or I should show them that I'm great in terms of usage of language, or they should know what my degrees and qualifications are. If the focus is on me as a speaker, I think that's where we falter.
Hmm.
Uh, if every time you want to step on somewhere, if the only consideration is if my audience is going to spend 15 minutes with me or 2 hours, doesn't matter the time. What is it that they are going to take away from this session? I think then everything falls in place because then you're not worried about uh, whether you're having great examples or not, as long as you are able to create the value for the audience. So that's one thing that I make sure I tell all my participants. It's never ever think about you. Whatever you speak has to create some value for the people out there. And then, yeah, a little bit of humor there, if you may, is and even if people disagree and prove you wrong and correct you, be the Marwadi that I am. It has created value for you, right? You have learned something, if not them. Somebody has learned in the room, and that is what is more important. It's just to accept that you made a mistake and you learned something.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I mean. You always turn a situation around and make it a learning moment. Everything is a learning moment. Anything and everything that happens. Quick aside, we were in the middle of he was facilitating a game, and this game was being played online in face to face, but online. It was a game, I think, that the sales team was playing, if I'm not mistaken. And they're they're in teams competing with each other. It's minute by minute, everything is counted. It's a 45-minute race against time. They have to save the world, sort of a situation, and they're competing with each other. And some members' systems go off. They get disconnected from the internet or whatever that is, and some teams are left short-handed. And they came to Arvind and they said, Arvind, this is unfair. वो team में सब लोगों का system चल रहा है, हम कैसे खेलेंगे? And Arvind's quick wit. Arvind's like, but that happens in life as well. Are you going to go to a competing client and be like, competing organization and be like, but you have all your staff, our staff has fallen sick, they cannot come to work, so stop the competition? No, that's not how it works. So this is the hand the life has dealt. What are you going to do with it? And he just moved on. So Arvind's known for his quick wit. How does I was going to ask about how does your quick wit play a role in your public speaking? Does it play a role in your public speaking?
It does. I didn't know in the first place. I didn't know I could be humorous or I could be witty. It's
Am I telling you that for the first time?
no. Now I know it, and now I left it
Okay.
earlier because I know for a fact that maybe if I have to speak for long, I would carry a, a passionate speech very effectively. I can't carry a humorous speech. That's not what my face is suited for. Even my demeanor, right? I'm not that kind. I don't come across that kind of a person. And yet I know for sure that those one words or that witty remarks at appropriate time, that helps me a lot because then it kind of, it helps people lighten up a bit instead of just being in that intense mode all the time. In fact, I use it more to keep it relevant or relatable for the audience in that moment because we can give examples. However, I feel the best example is based on what is happening in the room. And there, what has helped me is again my training as a coach because while we are doing what we are doing, speaking or whatever, uh, it has become second nature for us to look at what's happening with people around us or what expression they have on their face and all of that. So I was doing an outbound workshop just, I think on the 15th, 5 days back. And I took the center stage, 300 people. And there were different facilitators. This was my turn now. And I quickly shouted, "Good morning." And it was loud, right? And the people were sitting next to the speakers. Like one of the lady just said, and I just happened to observe that and make a comment out of it, right? Somebody just missed a beat, whatever it. Now that to me, it's people because they know I'm talking about them. It's easier to get people's attention rather than trying to, hey, look at me, you need us and all of that. So that's how it has worked for me. Uh, any rules? No. I think one simple rule is keep observing and link it to whatever you're referring to in that moment.
So I have gotten a very important executive coach with specialization in public speaking, among other things that you do. And we are not even gotten into all the other strategy discussions you facilitate and all the other things that you have mastered and you help people with. So I'm going to stay in this lane and I'm going to ask you, as a friend who you have observed in professional situations a lot, what is the advice you would give me? What is it that one or two things that I should work on?
Uh, for you, Ameena, knowing the kind of effort you put in and the amount of preparation that you put in, I think one simple advice would be don't forget that you are also a human who can make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Uh, and that's what I tell a lot of my participants who are afraid of forgetting when they're so, right. It's okay to forget. We're all humans, right? The problem is not that you forget. I look at it this way. If you have tried your best, if you put in all the efforts, and your intention is to give everything that you could to your audience, right? With the best of intentions. And yet, if you forget, I think we are humans. We got to just take that in our stride and move on. Yeah. but you can't use it as an excuse to not prepare.
Yeah.
Where you say, you know what, hey, Arvind said it's okay to forget, so why prepare in the first place? I just give whatever I have. Now that's cheating. Right? But I know you are not that kind of a person. You are the other one who frets a lot over what if I miss this, and
Yeah.
that's something. There's nothing else that I can teach you. I mean, that's the only thing that I see.
I think I've learned a lot, whether you're willing to teach me or not. I think I've learned a lot from you over the years. Um, and I will keep that in mind. Prepare, but then it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think the whole this experience, this whole putting myself in front of the camera is an exercise or an experiment in telling myself it's okay. Like, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to not look perfect. It's okay to present it authentically and then let it do what it needs to do. So, thank you.
If I tell people, how would you know I've forgotten if I don't tell you?
uh, uh, I believe that people know. They just don't know they know, but they feel like, "Arey, kuch missing tha." And that missing happens when I haven't done my best job. So that's where that whole the pressure that I take in making sure everything flows well and everything is thought through and every step is accounted for. That's where it comes from. But I see what you're saying,
So, do you realize I didn't share one point around forgetting?
which is
Did you realize that? That's what it is.
well played, Arvind. Well played. This is why we are friends. But for those who want to, I'm bringing it back to the course, and for those who want to join the course, how do they get in touch with you?
Uh, One is through my website,
Mhm.
which
We
is
will put the link to the website in the description so they can have access to that. Anything else?
I think right now it's about reaching out to me through phone call or WhatsApp. That's the best way. Or email me through. You will have the email ID through my website, and people can reach out to me.
Sure. So we'll link people through that because I do think over the years I've heard you very passionately talk about this. I've heard you introduce so many people to this art of public speaking and presenting themselves that kind of shifts their entire presence. So I am going to link this and I'm going to request people to get in touch with you if they're interested in the course, especially if they're not if they're interested in something that doesn't give you do's and don'ts and it's extremely practical. I think you're the person for it. We haven't gotten into the 10,000 other things that you do and that you're good at, but we will save that for another video.
I got to know that I am good at some other things also. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're not doing that in this video because if you put a question, I wouldn't know what to respond. So first you got to tell me what I'm good at, and then maybe we can do something about it.
I can list them out. We can just turn the camera to all those people sitting behind you and they will tell you as well. You do work in public speaking and coaching where these two meet together because I know of clients that have reached out to you where some with speech impairment, some with debilitating challenges around speech and coaching. How does that merger happen? Because coaching is such a space of I don't tell you, like I help you figure it out yourself. And training is a space of I tell you exactly what to do. So when these two come together, how do you help those clients out?
Like you said, it's a blend, right? It's not pure coaching, but coaching comes in handy in terms of a lot of these behaviors that we see now, public speaking, or the reasons why people are not able to express themselves, comes from their experiences in the past or their belief systems, their value systems, and all of that. So, coaching helps you honor those areas. And once we are clear about what's stopping them, then we focus on okay, if there are tips and tricks required, we can work on this. That's it.
I also know you leverage NLP with your coaching and with public speaking as well. For those who don't know neuro linguistic programming, a very, very what do I say, a very impactful technique used within coaching and within other spheres of facilitation as well. How does that play a role into what you do with public speaking?
So there are times, right? There are people. So if I have to use a very technical language of NLP, I've actually used anchoring switch technique to help people become confident. The one person I told about that, or the one person I talked about in terms of who was not doing very well over the 9 sessions, but came out to be the best speaker on the last day in front of his boss, uh, was someone with whom I tried the switch technique because it was about helping him visualize a successful speech rather than the fear in his mind that I will not be able to tell you. So that worked beautifully. Sometimes simple anchoring helps just to get them in that frame of mind just before they enter the stage. So yeah, I mean these are the two basic things, but different aspects work at different times. It depends again on the cause or the need in that moment for that individual. I don't use specific models or approaches because I don't remember them. Okay. Uh, and I use this word. I would never like to get married to one particular way of doing a thing because I think that completely goes against the fundamental principle of coaching, which is every individual has his or her own unique problem. And, and therefore, I think we need to look at each one of them very differently.
Mm.
Having said that, I believe it comes naturally to me. I just do what seems right in that moment without worrying about what model or what framework I should use. Uh, More often than not, it has been effective. Maybe if I reflect back, I might realize there was another tool or another approach which could have worked better. But then there's always scope for improvement. Again, like I said, I'm human, right? As long as it's working right now for the person in front of me, I don't care what is it that is working. I remember one sentence from one of my coaches who said, "If it's working for you, use it. You don't need to change it." And that's the philosophy I carry. Doesn't matter whether it's a sophisticated one or it's a simpler one. In fact, most of my coaching sessions, I've realized it's more conversations that work. So I think, like you said, right, I like to play with words. And there's a technique called the slay of mouth. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but uh, where you just turn around the words of your client and make them look at a different perspective. And that's something that I enjoy doing. And that conversation seems to work most of the times.
Yeah. I think I should take your course.
You should.
I should take your course.
You will have you will have access to it the moment it is online. Don't worry.
No, I'm thinking of taking the face-to-face course. A
Okay.
couple of unique things that have been brought to my attention since I started my YouTube career. One of them is the number of fillers I use are more on YouTube than I use in real life. So something about switching on the camera triggers filler words. One. Second, while editing the video, it has been pointed out to me that I think the way a cartoon does, which is while scratching my head. I have a very cartoon way of thinking about things. So when I'm thinking of a question, I tend to scratch my head.
You might want to even move your eyes like this upward.
Yeah, I do a lot of that, which are very natural ways of thinking. Let me say, like, this is not the only way to think. This is also a way to think. So I could possibly work through that if I make it to your face-to-face course. If not, then I'll try your online course. And
I think for the first one, you know the answer, right? It's your you want to be perfect in a classroom. Even if there are fillers, even if you make a mistake, there's an opportunity to correct. And it's only those 30 people or 300 people, right?
yeah, yeah, sure.
With YouTube, you don't know how many people, and I wish you don't know how many people are going to watch it. There could be many, many, many. Uh, you are more worried about making that impression or being perfect.
Yeah,
Possibly that's what it is.
yeah. I just need to learn to think differently. Anything else that you want people to know about your course that you would like to share?
I think it's not only about this course, it's about any course. The course by itself will not do anything.
Mm.
Uh, and I do the same thing as much as I'm saying others do it. When we enroll for a course, it's all about making good, great notes and noting down every single point. Oh, it's so important. So, but at the end of it, what the only thing that helps you is what you put into practice. So you might, even if you don't cover the entire program, even if you don't remember everything, as long as you apply whatever you remember and whatever little you learn, I think that's the change you'll see in your life. Besides that, you know, someone told me knowledge is power is, there's a French word here, but knowledge when applied actually becomes power. So
Yeah. And in your famous words, I've heard you say this at the end of a session, मेरा काम तो यहाँ खत्म होता है, आपका इसके आगे शुरू होता है.
another analogy that I give, which is also very common, is imagine you go to a gym and you pay for the membership and you get a personal trainer attached to you. And the personal trainer says, okay, do 50 squats or 20 push ups. Are you going to tell the trainer, paisa diya hai na kar? The trainer's job is to guide you, and that's what our job is, to tell you, to help you with inputs, to give you ways to get better at certain things, which whatever the topic is. But unless you do it, nothing is going to change. So I think instead of saying anything about the program, if you're expecting a magic wand, there isn't any. If you're expecting things to change just by you watching it, uh, don't enroll. If you're willing to put in efforts, then yes, this program is for you.
Mm. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you for making the time, not just today, but always making the time for me to get in touch with you and learn and grow, which I have, since you might not know this, but you have contributed to my growth. So thank you. I think there was a lot of energy I got from you to start the studio as well. So thank you for contributing to all that you're a part of today, something that you contributed to months and years ago. So thank you.
It's always a pleasure, Amina. And everything else that you said, ditto, because it's mutual. Everything learn from each other. We help each other grow. And that's the beauty of this relationship. So thank you so much for having me.